This year's Secret Santa was very good to me, because you know why? My Secret Santa gave me the gift of cheese in Fromage. What is Fromage? I'll go over it and tell you what I think about this game as well. So how do you play Fromage? First of all, you put it on the table, outside of the box. All right, what it is. It is a worker placement game. You get 3 workers, that's it. 3 workers. And you've got to decide when you want to have them and when they come back. Your workers are going to go out and do a couple different things. They're going to go out and get resources, or they're going to go and make cheese. That's pretty much it. On your turn, when you place a cheese, you're going to have a choice between bronze, silver, and gold. The gold is the best ones, of course, because it's gold. The gold is the best. The gold's the best. The gold is the best because it's the gold medals. That's why. But when you make a gold cheese, it takes your cheese longer to get back to you. See, what happens is this game has a lazy Susan. This game has a lazy Susan! At the end of your turn, after you do all your turns, you're gonna spin the wheel a quarter. It's gonna move. And then, if there's any of those triangles pointing back at you, you get that worker back. Boink. In front of you. If you don't have that worker back, guess what? It stays out there and it's doing something with the cheeses. So you have to plan your moves out as the game goes on. So like I said, on your turn, you can do cheeses, or you can gather resources. Resources are in the middle. You've got your animals to make the milk. You've got some fruits to add into your cheeses. You can build structures, or you can get specialty or green cards that you can get you bonus points. Everything in this game gets you points. Build structures. Hey, you can build structures to get special abilities on your board to make your engine run a little smoother. You can get animals, you can get cows, you can get sheep, you can get goats, and you can milk them and get an extra cheese on your turn. You can do this like up to 4 times in the game. Get an extra cheese out on the board. You can get the fruits to smother on top of, or put it in your cheeses. And it gets points for putting it in there, because there's special spots on the board that you can only use if you have the fruits. Points on points on points. And like I said, there's special orders as well. Complete an order of that specific type of cheese. Completed, you got the points. Also, this game has 4 mini games in it. Each section of the board is a different style of game. One is set collection. You have to combine 2 cheeses on a table, and that gets you more points as the game goes on for each kind of plate. There's another section that has shelves, and however many shelves you filled up, you get points for that. There's an area control section of this. There's area control in this. If you have more of your cheeses in that area of France, you win, you control it, you get the points. And there's a whole area where you're trying to get the most adjacent, and there's wild French flags in there. So the more you get in there, the more it is. Also, this game is scalable from 2 to 4 players. Solo, when you play with yourself, you just use the 2. There's boards you pull in and out and slide around that basically make the game compatible for everybody. So it's pretty much the same game all the way around. I am enthralled by this game. I love it. I played it on BGA once and was like, what is this game? And then I'm like, reading up on it, I'm like, I have to get this. And I put this immediately on my list, and I was very excited. All right, that's kind of the overview of the game. So cheeses is out on the board, points. Different boards have different points structures, you get points. You build things, points. Get cards, points. So, what do I like about this game? I love worker placements. I think people will like it if you like worker placement. When you have your 3 workers, you have to figure out which round you want to use it for better options. In the area control section, I really need a gold white. So I have to wait and make sure I get that back for that phase and make sure I have it and not reuse it. But then I have to make sure I don't need it for another couple rounds, because I can't use that again until it gets back to me. It takes 3 turns to get back around. That is, I think, a great mindset. It makes you think, it makes you work. The 4 different games add different variabilities, so you're always thinking of something different each round. It's not the same. It's not like when you spin the board, you're gonna do the same thing your turn. Spin the board, do the same thing. You have to think differently on what's in front of you on that turn. When the turn's coming up, I gotta look over here. All right, I need to have my blue cheese for this one. So but I have to have fruit. Okay, I can get some fruit here, put some fruit down there, get it in, or on my board, I can get a fruit there, and make sure you have all your points. Another reason I love this game is the Lazy Susan. I've already screamed Lazy Susan. I will scream it again. Lazy Susan! It's got a beautiful mat that you place down on the table in front of you. Look at that mat. It sits on top of, the Lazy Susan sits on top of this mat. Oh, it's so glorious. Then you interlock the boards together, and then you set it up, and every time you can have it a different configuration of the 4. Yeah, I know it's 4, so it's never gonna really be fully all over the place. You're gonna run out of variations, but still. So it's just a nice, different mechanic that you don't see. I mean, how many times have you seen a Lazy Susan in a game? I don't think I have. And just the fact that it so glides and moves and you're just like, all right, everybody done? Everyone done? Who wants to turn it? We're turning the cheese board. That is a genius thing. That is the hook in this game for me. It was that brought me in, the Lazy Susan that spins, and what's keeping me in there is the different strategies you can do and different ways to play. It is wonderful. Now, if you don't like worker placement games, you're not gonna like this game. If you don't like point salad-y games, you're probably not gonna enjoy it as much because, like I said, there are 4 zones you have to concentrate on and try to figure out. I think it's really hard gonna be to maximize points in all 4 zones, so you're gonna have to only focus on 1 or 2. Focus on those points and maybe then 1 or 2 of the other ones where it's like on your board you might build a structure to allow you to get points for using cards. Focus on the cards and that spot that can give you some extra points, and then only do 2 on the main board. That may be a problem for some people. This game does fly by. It's only supposed to be about 30 minutes. The longest I've played it was teaching it, and it took like an hour. But I think people can get stuck, and there's going to be some analysis paralysis for people if they are not really good at planning ahead way too much. They're going to sit there and go, all right, this turn I do this, all right, and it's going to frustrate some people like that. I think the randomness in this game is pretty low. So if you're going to be in the mindset of like, oh, I don't want random, I can't have any random, there's going to be a little bit of random, but I think for the most part, that is very small and very limited. The biggest thing is just trying to figure out where your pieces are going to go, when you get them back, when you're going to deploy them. That is the best. The quality of the pieces are great. Even though I've only had it for a short time, it was in 2024. This would be like in my top 2 or 3 for 2024. I wish I could play it more. I play it way too much on BGA. Seriously, I get downtime at work. I'm just like, click, 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 play, 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 play. It looks great on the table. This is a gorgeous game. Some people might be wondering if this game is going to have a problem of getting boring pretty quickly. There are different ways to vary up the boards. Like I said, for the boards that you put in and slide in for player count, there's 2 sides, so you can alternate those. Also, on your player mat, they have extra tiles, so you can change the structures that you do. You could do a drafting round and draft different structures and do it every time. So there's a way to make this game different than the base. So I think that is great. I think they could probably do an expansion for it, but everything fits in the spot. It's so lovely, it's so wonderful. I don't know of that many people that would say this is a bad game. Tell me, if you don't like Fromage, tell me why, seriously, because I think it's got everything. Worker placement, cheese, oh, Lazy Susan. Doesn't take too much on the table. I'm gonna have to cut this in a little earlier. So for me, Fromage, giant hit. Go out, play Fromage, go and buy it, find it. The pieces are lovely. It's a beautiful game. It's easy to learn, easy to play. Go get Fromage. Cheese.